First of all, I must apologise for this review being as late as it is. I know most people who've reviewed this movie did it a couple of weeks ago, but in all fairness, I did actually see this movie last Thursday, but I haven't had a chance to review it because I've had a lot of uni work to do, and it was also my birthday at the weekend, so, you know, you can understand why I haven't been able to get a review out. Based off of a very popular book released last year, this movie stars Emily Blunt, Hayley Bennett, Justin Theroux, Luke Evans, and Rebecca Ferguson. I actually had no intention of seeing this movie at all. I just went along to the cinema with a friend of mine to go and see it, and it's not good. It's a bit of a train wreck. First of all, the acting in this movie is actually pretty good from everyone. Emily Blunt is definitely the standout because her character is definitely the most interesting, but she is also the most troubled, disturbed, and just generally fucked up character out of all the others. Rebecca Ferguson, who you may remember from Mission Impossible Rogue Nation, is very good in this movie, and so is Luke Evans. But I do feel with both this role and the one he'd had in High Rise is that he's going to end up falling into that typecast of playing an aggressive husband if he isn't careful. Justin Theroux isn't that bad in the movie, but the worst person by far is Hayley Bennett. She just doesn't bring anything new to the table, and her character is probably the most least interesting out of all of them. Now, I personally haven't read the book, but I've heard that this movie is very different to it. And unfortunately, even though the story is interesting, like a lot of people, I have to compare this movie to Gone Girl. Obviously, Gone Girl is the better movie here, and even though this movie has an interesting plot, it's just executed in such a scatterbrained and bad way. The timeline in the movie goes back and forth so many times that you actually get a bit confused as to what is actually happening on the screen. Did it happen in the past, or is it happening in the present? It's never 100% clear. Also, like I said, Emily Blunt's character is the most interesting. That's because she is the only character in the movie to be given character development. All of the other characters are very one-dimensional, and any development they do have is through plot twists and revelations. Not all of these revelations and plot twists work. The only one that I think does is Rebecca Ferguson and her twist towards the end. And because when that twist happens, it does actually have an emotional impact on her character, and you can actually see that. The movie itself has a very grey, dull colour palette that makes it very boring to look at. The movie as a whole is very slow and doesn't actually get going until the final act. So you're waiting so long for it to actually happen, and when it does, you've lost interest. And the directing is pretty basic. It's okay, but it's honestly nothing special. And there are some really weird choices where certain footage is slowed down in editing, and it gives this horrible, shaky, blurry frame rate thing that is supposed to be there for dramatic effect, but really doesn't work. Overall, I liked some things about this movie, but it is still really bad. The plot is just incredibly scattered and doesn't know where it's going, and it's pretty much just a watered down version of Gone Girl. I'm going to give The Girl on the Train a 5 out of 10. If you enjoyed the book, then you might find some enjoyment here, but as a movie lover, this movie's awful. So guys, that was my review for The Girl on the Train. If you enjoyed this review, then remember to like this video and subscribe for more reviews like it. And yeah, I will see you in the next video. Bye.